Aihole is a historic site of ancient and medieval era. It is a major archaeological site featuring over 125 temples made out of stone. It contains monuments of Buddhist, Jain, and Hindu. The most attractive temple is the Durga Temple at Aihole. It is perhaps the most famous temple in Aihole. This video is all about the Durga Temple of the cluster of Aihole. It has a striking resemblance with the Indian Parliament building. Some even say that the Indian Parliament building got inspired by the Durga Temple design. The architecture is notable for its apsidal plan, which is kind of a semicircular building covered with a semi-dome. This architecture is usually found in the Byzantine, Romanesque, and Gothic Christian churches, but it is rare among early Chalukyan Hindu temple architecture. The apsidal plan in the sanctum or the Garbhagriha is combined with a non-apsidal plan in the front, which is a North Indian architecture. It is kind of inspired from early Buddhist monasteries and temples, which is kind of a rectangular and square plan. Hence, the temple mixes both apsidal and non-apsidal plan. The temple has three free layers. Outside the main temple, there is a layer where one can walk through, covered with walls and windows. The outside pathway is one of the most original feature of this temple. It has a row of columns surrounding the space within the building, kind of a peristyle which is found in Greek and Roman architecture. The wall between the second and third layer are covered with sculptures of different gods and goddesses. This is the oldest known temple of this kind. Since the 13th century, there were numerous battles between Hindu kingdoms and Islamic Sultanates. Hence, after the 13th century, most of Aiole's history was lost. Even Aihole was part of several Islamic empires, including the Mughals, the Delhi Sultanates, and even the Bijapur Sultanates. Hence, most part of Aihole, including the Durga temple, became nothing but ruins. Then, in 1860s, Briggs, a British artillery officer, rediscovered Aihole, and hence he rediscovered the Durga temple in Aihole. He sensed the significance of its art and sculpture and took some earliest photographs of it. As you can clearly see that the temple was covered with rubbles and it looks nothing more than ruins. These photos show a rare glimpse of Aihole on how it looked like 100 years ago. The Durga temple at Aihole has been a subject of much debate and several wrong theories since its discovery. The architecture looked like a Buddhist monastery or an early Buddhist temple, so maybe it is a Buddhist temple. However, there are no sculptures of Buddha in here. All the sculptures look like Hindu gods, so maybe it's a Hindu temple. The temple also has few short inscriptions, which also caused some confusion and early speculations. For example, there is one short inscription reads Jainalayan, which led to some speculation that it's a Jain temple with Hindu deities, or a Jain temple that was converted into a Hindu temple. But there is no evidence of anything of a Jain temple inside here. We think Jainalayan is one of the artists or architects who worked on this temple. Such signatures are common in Badami Chalukyan temples. The main Garbhagriha does not have any deity. Maybe it was stolen or replaced or damaged during the ancient or the medieval era. Europeans have been addressing this as a Shiva temple from the beginning. Later, some Europeans considered this as a Surya Narayana temple, which is a temple of Vishnu. Only in the 1960s and 1970s, many of the rubbles in Aihole were cleared, and in the 1970s, when a particular section of the Durga temple was cleared, they found an inscription was built by Kumara for Hindu deity Aditya. So Aditya is none other than the sun god. So it is a sun temple, a temple dedicated to Lord Surya. but it still has a very misleading name as Durga Temple. It sounds like it's a temple dedicated to the goddess Durga. In Old Kannada, the word Durg means fort. So it's actually not Durga Temple, it's Durg Temple, which literally translates to fort temple. The Aihole temple complex where Durga Temple is located is actually located inside a fort, and hence it is a fort temple. The age of the temple has also been much of a debate, but the inscription found in 1970s, which confirmed that the temple belonged to the sun god, did not had any date. But paleographic experts say the inscription cannot be later than 700 AD, which means the temple is at least 1300 years old. Just in the same temple complex, there is another temple known as the Lat Khan temple, belongs to the 5th century, which is one of the still surviving oldest Hindu temples in South India. Hence, the age of Durga temple could be even earlier. Aihole is referred in Hindu text even from the 4th century. Most of the construction, including the Durga temple, was done by early Chalukya dynasty. Parts of the temple had been damaged, but it still has some extraordinary stone artworks. There are sculptures of happy couples which show the sign of love. Many of such lovers' sculptures were found on the outer pillars in the entrance of the temple. This is a sculpture of Hariharan, half Shiva and half Vishnu. The word Hari refers to Shiva and the word Haran refers to Vishnu. So both of them are in one form. Almost all of these sculptures are the earliest of these forms. Aihole is also considered as the cradle of Hindu temple architecture, and many of the sculptures were the prototype, which was later used in many temples elsewhere. This is Manishashura Mardini, a form of the goddess Durga, killing the evil in the form of bull. This is Varaha, Vishnu in the pig avatar. He is saving Bhuma Devi, the earth goddess, from evil. Another of Vishnu's avatar is also depicted. This is Narasimha, where he looks like a lion. The Durga temple has been a model temple for many temples which were built later. Pathway to move around the Garbhagriha where the main idol sits can be now seen in many temples around India. This is a sculpture of Shiva in the form of Vrishavahana. In this form, he will be riding a Nandi, which is his bull. There is also a sculpture of Vishnu riding in Garuda, which is his vehicle of locomotion. Stone grilled windows are made with extraordinary precision, each window with a different design. The top of the Aihole temple had a circular rock which is now fallen down, and still you can see it by side. Please like this video, share to your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this.